In this video, I'm going to talk about triggers for drinking. In fact, triggers for anything. So continue to watch and I'm going to explain how to reverse your triggers so that you can break bad habits. Our subconscious mind is very, very clever. And what it tries to do is it tries to help us throughout our whole lifetimes. It tries to store memories to teach us what's healthy, what's bad, what's good for us, what hurts us, what makes us feel good. And most of the time we ignore it. We just live our lives on autopilot. But one thing that our subconscious mind does all the time is it records triggers. So a good example would be you could hear some music and that music might put a smile on your face and you don't even know why. It might make you feel sad. And if you think about it for a few moments, you might recollect and you might remember why it made you feel like that. But in your subconscious mind, that's a trigger. And we have these for everything in our lives. So people, when we see certain faces, certain places, and a lot of these triggers, they don't matter. They don't cause us any problems. They don't cause us anything at all. But then other times, these triggers are really important, and it's really imperative to know what the triggers are for the negative responses. So, for example, drinking. You can have triggers for drinking, and now it could be certain people that you're friends with, people that you drink with. It could be a certain person that every time you're with this person, you go even more wild. It could be a place, so a part of the town or the village or the city where you live. It could be a smell, a particular smell of a particular area where you would sometimes drink. And then it gets narrower, and it could be things in your life, as in the time. So it doesn't really matter where you are, it's a particular time of the day. And all of these triggers, they're built into our subconscious mind by accident, and they're built over time when you keep repeating things when these triggers are firing, let's say. So every day at 5 o'clock, if you finish work and you go for a drink immediately, that time, that signal that you finish work, those are triggers for you to go and get a drink. And a lot of people don't realize this. And if you don't realize this, then they just happen. And you're just taken to this place, you're taken to that place, and you just do it automatically. It's like somebody in a bar could say, "Oh, what would you like?" And automatically your response would be the same every time. And it might be a choice between a variety of alcoholic drinks or a particular alcoholic drink that you always drink, but nevertheless, it's always going to be part of that pattern that answers the question. It's not really your conscious mind because we're living subconsciously. Now, living subconsciously is great so long as you've put all the correct programs into your subconscious mind. So when I became a stage hypnotist, it was my my goal was not to just be a stage hypnotist, it was to be able to do it subconsciously so I wouldn't have to think about it. I'm not really sure why that was my goal, but it was my goal. So I could stand on the stage and I could be doing everything I need to do, but my mind didn't need to be there. And I guess the purpose of that, now I've said it out loud, was so that I know it back to front without having to think at all. And then it's obviously super easy. And this is how our lives are. But unfortunately, when we have negative triggers, we've got to get rid of them. And the first thing is to realize that we have triggers. So part of this video is to explain we have triggers. We actually say it out loud. "Oh, I'm terrible when I'm with you. Oh, you're a bad influence. Oh, every time I'm in here, I do this. Oh, it's that time of the day, wine o'clock." And so we acknowledge these things without thinking deeply about them. But we really should, particularly if we want to stop them, because it could be food, where a particular night is takeaway night, and it's just, oh, it's Friday, it's takeaway night, it's that trigger. Oh, it's Saturday, we have a Chinese this evening, we have an Indian this evening, we have whatever it is, and all these triggers exist. So the first thing to do is to realize what triggers you have that you need to change. So is it the time of the day? Is it certain places? Is it certain people? And you don't have to make these changes forever. You make these changes until the triggers have gone and you've broken them. So if it's a particular time of the day, and this is, I mean, I couldn't say it's 3 weeks, 3 days, or 3 years. It's different for everybody, and it depends on the trigger. So the best thing to do is to actually go for it, and I would always say do the overkill. So if you think it's a few weeks, do a few months. And so if it's, let's say, for example, the trigger is a particular time of the day, 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock, you go for a drink. Well, at 4:30, 4:45, you need to be somewhere else. You need to be away from that situation so that you can't go for a drink. You need to do what I have to do with sugary foods and not have them in the house. If I have sugary foods in the house, I will eat them. Wherever they are, I will find them and I will eat them. And so that's my trigger, unfortunately. So out of the house completely. So this is really important. Don't buy them. Don't have them in the house. Don't be around certain people that are not going to help you. In the long term, people are people, friends are friends. But once you've controlled your mind, or should I say, you've taken control of your mind, and you can make decisions consciously and be strong with your willpower, and the triggers have gone, then you can go to these places, these bars. Then you can go this time of the day. It doesn't matter anymore. The friends, it doesn't make a difference anymore because you've regained your control and you can make the decisions that you really should be making regardless of the triggers around you. So this is where you want to be. You want to be subconsciously in control completely. So top tips are: realize what the triggers are. Firstly, make a list and distract yourself if it's times. Don't go to the places if it's places. Be ready if you have to be in certain places. You can't escape these places because you work there or whatever. Be ready with your no script. So when somebody tempts you to do something, maybe not for fun, just because they don't know that you're trying to be moderate drinker or stop drinking, whatever it is, but be ready with your answers, what you're going to say, and break the triggers. Because the more you do that, the more a trigger happens and you don't react to it in the way that you used to, the more you're beating that trigger. And it's only a certain amount of times, and then that trigger is gone, and then you have a clean slate, just like at the beginning, before you got into those triggers. So now it's up to you to say, right, now I'm going to drink on a Friday, or I'm going to drink every 2 weeks, or I'm going to drink once a month, or I'm going to drink once a year. But it's your choice. And then you would create a new trigger. So if it was, let's say, I tend to drink once a week. I haven't done for a few weeks now because I can take it or leave it. But when I was socializing a lot more with a group of friends and we were always doing things, and they'd be going out a few nights a week, I would always choose the Saturday. So the Saturday would be my trigger. Saturday afternoon, I would look forward to it. And then Saturday at night, I would be going out, having some food and having some drinks. So I created a new trigger because I had hundreds of different triggers for drinking when I was from 20 to 28. But then I broke those and then created, back in those days, it was the Monday night that I used to go out because me and my ex-girlfriend and friends were off on a Monday. So that was the night. So that was my trigger. Then I changed that to a Friday. And then it was a Saturday. And this is what we do. But it's your choice to break all those triggers that you had by accident and then create the one that suits you. Okay? So triggers are good, but not if they've just been created subconsciously without you even realizing. And they always are. And then while we're on this subject of triggers, you can create new triggers to put smiles on your face. You can create better triggers in your life for everything that you do. And you can have pictures on your phone of the people that you love, the people that put a smile on your face, so that you've created a trigger with your phone. So every time you look at it, you smile. You can treat yourself to a bit of jewelry or something with somebody's name on or something. It has some kind of importance. And so every time you put it on, you feel good. So you can create triggers at the same time. So this is what I want to talk about in this video. Basically, acknowledge what the triggers are, work out ways to get around them, to stay away from them, to break them. Once they're broken completely and they're no longer in control of your subconscious mind, then create the ones that you want if you want new triggers. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please share it with a friend that could do with seeing this. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Also, to break triggers, I should mention it, hypnotherapy is the short way to just do it really quickly. I'll put a link below if you want to check the website out. You're more than welcome. But these videos are more about me giving you advice for you to really do what you can by yourselves, because most people can do this by themselves, and some people, they need some help. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.